Since it worked so good the first time around and it can't possibly be stale yet, I'm gonna go to the well a second time here with the same flavor of video topic. I took a rare moment of contemplation recently and had an even more rare moment of realization as a result. Classes will go up and down in favoritism forever, but chapters, well, those will tell you volumes about the person you're speaking to, or, it might just tell you that they like green. It's a pretty equal possibility, in all honesty. In any case, it is important to remember that today will be all based in opinion, and therefore it is 100% true and undeniable. I'll only be touching on the 9 Loyalist chapters this round, 1 for time constraints, and 2 because some heretics don't have representation yet. Here's looking at you, Fulgrim, you disgusting freak. Without further ado, hold on. If you haven't picked a chapter at this point, and you do want to be more educated on the matter, go check out my Lorehammer playlist. I am operating off of the assumption that you knew about what you chose, but this can still be entertaining if you don't. Starting off strong, we have the Black Templars. Now, no, hold on here. I misread that. We've got who the Black Templars wish they were. The Dark Angels. Can you hear that? It's the sound of Black Templars huffing and puffing as they trudge into the comments, pretending that they're not cosplayers. Anyway, if you're down with these guys, you've probably got a few issues. You are likely a deeply mistrusting person, and it's also probably your fault that those trust issues exist. Sorry. You're stubborn as a goddamn mule, and you have a tendency to make it everybody else's problem. However, you've got a reasonable cause for being so disagreeable. You're usually right. You've just got a nasty habit of being a prick when you're proving a point. You don't want to be a dick, but you lack the eloquence or awareness not to be. We desperately need to teach you how to read the room, because as of right now, you're basically young Sheldon with a great sword. Moving on, we've got the White Scars. There's 2 people that like the White Scars, and I need to speak quickly to maintain the attention span of both of them. The first one is completely riddled with ADHD and refuses to take any medication. The other requires 0 Adderall, but will not stop slamming it into their face hole under any circumstances. The constant between the 2 of them is a perpetual cycle of hyperfixations interspersed with a monotonous day-to-day life that they find agonizing. This means that they choose a task, lock the fuck in, and that task is now their entire existence. It doesn't matter how difficult it is, it doesn't matter how many times they repeat it. For this short period of time, they view it as their life's purpose. Then, in the blink of an eye, the interest will immediately die out. Anything remotely resembling or reminding them of that task in the future will now fill them with feelings of disgust and or exhaustion. Then they retract back into the hellish boredom that is everyday life until a new obsession strikes them, and the cycle repeats itself in perpetuity. I apologize for the panic attack that just gave some of you. It is now Space Wolf time. I know that you probably enjoy this chapter because of their rich and storied history and the legacy of the characters therein. I know that you're probably a stand-up individual who recognizes every once in a while a rule needs to be broken for the betterment of society. I know that you've probably got an interest in all the crazy and amazing shit that these space Vikings get up to. I know that you're probably willing to speak truth to power, even though it means putting your own well-being in jeopardy. I know you are probably an emotionally layered individual who appreciates the dichotomy of the nobility and savagery that the Space Wolves exemplify. And I know you don't voice any of these opinions because you're gonna get called a furry. That shit sucks, man, but I think it may literally be impossible to change. Well, if it isn't the Imperial Fists. When I took my morning piss, it had a wider range of emotion than all of you Ronald McDonald-looking motherfuckers will have in the entire month of October. So what if it burned a little? Fuck you, I'm still right. If I'm being honest, I actually kind of appreciate you normal ones. Usually your life cycle goes something like this. Your friend gets you into Warhammer. They tell you Black Templars are the best. You become a Black Templar. You form coherent thoughts, you become an Imperial Fist instead. I mean, for the love of Christ, the crusade that justifies their existence doesn't even crack the top 3 crusades in Warhammer. That statement is going to echo in their head for years. This chapter is very cool to ex-military members and dads. I don't know why, it just is. If I ever do understand why, I'm gonna get real real fucking nervous because I'm pretty sure enjoying the Imperial Fists out of the blue is like Spidey sense for baby mamas or getting drafted. If you enjoy the Blood Angels, somehow this makes you an unproblematic individual. I don't know why drinking blood and uncontrollable fits of rage appeal to you, because you're a rather tolerant and kind individual. If I had to guess, you like to live vicariously through stories of immense bloodshed so that you don't go out and cause it yourself. It's like a crimson stress ball that works to sap all of the violent intention from your body, keeping your soul clean and spirits high. There's some demons dwelling real deep in that noggin of yours that we couldn't dredge up with a week's worth of effort from heavy machinery, and I think I speak for everyone when I say thank you for not losing your shit and making it everybody else's problem. You may not have the most healthy way to approaching your various traumas, but you are handling them nonetheless, and that is significantly more than can be said for this next group. If you're all about the Iron Hands, you usually have daddy issues, and there is a less than zero chance that you frequently say gamer words. Either that or you're an engineer, which is pretty much the same thing. I do not know how you still have so much pent-up aggression left in the tank. You would assume someone who's always letting out their anger would run out of gas eventually, but apparently you'd assume wrong. We get it. Your dad left, but it's not an excuse to be a dick weasel your whole life. Either go kill the guy, or get over it. If you're looking to someone to say they're proud of you, hell, I'll be a stand-in and do it myself on the condition that you try to stop being such a fucking disappointment first. You can achieve great things, but you need to get the hell past those excuses. Go fill up the sink, put all those excuses in a cloth bag, ball it up, and hold those excuses under the water until they stop squirming around. Consider that your body's purging of the little bitch that resides inside of you. After that, go figure out what in life you want to do, and then get the hell after it. No more excuses, numbnuts. Okay, let's get this over with. Ultramarines. Now, it took a while for me to fully understand you guys, but now I think I finally get it, and I feel obligated to tell you a couple things. You are allowed to ask more from this life. You're allowed to be special. You are not a burden, and you are entitled to having nice things of your own. You do not need to settle for being a basic bitch oatmeal lover who looks like they just walked out of a gender reveal party. You have the ability to break from the grip of mediocrity and be more than just a roller in a printer that's somehow putting in blank-ass pieces of paper and then putting out more blank-ass pieces of paper. You owe it to yourself to strive for being more. You're allowed to dream, so dream big. Discover the talent you have within you and use it the best way that you know how. I believe you can seize your potential to be vivacious, to be exuberant, to be free, to be better than a fucking blueberry. Moving on, Salamanders are the lifeblood of any quality friend group. They keep chins high and spirits lifted. There's nothing they won't do when it comes to the betterment of the group. If someone needs to sit out, they'll volunteer for the break. If jokes need a victim, they'll take the hit without complaining. They're just good fucking dudes. True Salamanders never fail to pass a vibe check, and they never issue one because they're just that goddamn friendly. These guys have mastered the art of, oh well. They just don't harbor resentment for anyone, even if they've been wronged in the past. They just learn and move on. They are truly unique individuals. Elevating friendships seen in a group is one thing, but these super extroverts make it impossible to tell whether they're talking to a stranger or a lifelong friend. Their uncanny ability to make people feel at ease is something to marvel at. They're practically all super bartenders, and we love them for it. Ravengard, it is time to represent. People for some reason think you are the quiet professionals, when we both know that you're actually the silent and judgmental ones. You could burn a hole straight through a ceramite plate with your disappointed gaze. You are unbelievably antisocial, but most people can't tell because as soon as your social battery is drained, you just straight up leave events without saying anything to anybody. People think you're kind of an asshole, and you do nothing to dissuade them with your general demeanor and chronic resting bitch face. You can be very introspective in private conversation, but you have no interest in wearing a facade that says you want to be around others. You have massive trust issues, but unlike the Dark Angels doing it to themselves, these were likely inspired by others. And Jesus Christ, you are so good at holding a grudge. You would climb a tree just to vow revenge sooner than you would stand on the ground and forgive somebody for the simplest of things. For someone who is incredibly patient in their work, you do a complete 180 when it comes to tolerating people. And every Ravengard responded to that comment by saying, well yeah, that's because those people waste my fucking time in their heads, and you can't tell me otherwise. And there you have it, folks. What your chapter says about you. A few final notes while we wrap up here. If this upset you, I do not care. You're probably mad because I got something uncomfortably right. If you cruise in saying, I don't have a favorite, what does that say about me? How the fuck should I know? I would have put that in the video if there was an... Okay, look. It probably means you're an insufferable pain to plan with because you can't make decisions without an adult present holding your hand. Okay, next time I do this, I will be talking about weaponry, but man, do I not want to get footage for some of those. In the meantime, the wait for the Volkite pistol continues. If you're still looking for people to squad with, and you're old enough, go check out the Discord linked in the description. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and have a good night.